You've probably tapped on this video either because you're coming from the ROBLOX game enthusiast, new to the Glaggleland fandom, or you just found the Glagglepedia extremely confusing to read through. Fear no more, for I'm starting a series where I explain the lore within Glaggleland, as well as the characters in more simpler terms so that you may just finally understand everything on the same wavelength that the vets do. So, how did Glaggleland start? Glaggleland launched in popularity in 2021, with videos of smiley-faced balls that soon launched into its very own fandom. So, what exactly is Glaggleland? Glaggleland is the biggest and most important country in Glagworld due to its terrifyingly fun rides and unhealthy cuisine that includes fallen glognuts, glagham, refined glognuts, pentagles, and gigglecorn. What's the history behind Glaggleland? Ever since Glaggles have evolved into Glaggles, Glaggleland has always been inhabited, marking it another reason why Glaggleland is seen as the most important country in Glagworld. 50,000 years ago, Glagglers and Gazos became the most dominant species in all of Glagworld, and at one point they fought for the land of Glaggleland, with the Gigglers winning, forcing the Gazos to go look for their own land. This is important, as this fight is what started the rivalry between Gazos and Gigglers before the Infersian gas attack. While the first settlement known in Glaggleland's history was Mojo's Luck, a small town, it was later abandoned for Glaggleland's first city, Thornglock. Then there was the Glaggle Empire, though that deserves its own video due to how much lore it has, but I'll cover a small portion of it in this video. And then the Bronze Age started, in which the Gembo Empire invaded the vast majority of Glagworld, including Glaggleland, and the Gembos enslaved the Gigglers until a group of Gigglers declared independency in Glaggleland, the largest city in the now deserted Glaggle Empire. Qualperville joined in the fight for independence. The Gigglers had many losses, but that was until the Great Glag appeared and crushed the Gembo army, marking him king of both Glaggleland and Qualperville. The Gembo Empire, in response, agreed to vacate the western half of Glaglus, but they still controlled the southeast. In 112 BG, before Glimpening, Glaggleland became the core of a lot of Giggler cities, and the Great Glag held control of the entirety of Glaglus, Glaglus being a continent, with the use of the Glaggle Empire. In 102 AG, after Glimpening, the Glaggle Empire is described as reaching its peak in Glagworld, having a population of 54 million. The Great Glag changed the national religion from Glagolitic mythology to Glaglan in 152 AG. In 410 AG, the Glaggle Empire was declared to King Glowsword's army, and the Gigglers were left in distress over where to turn to next, and this would be marked in history as the Dark Ages of Glaggleland. It lasted from 410 AG to around 800 AG. Meanwhile, the Great Glag had convinced a group of Glebers to crown him as the king of the Glebers, in order to be able to reconquer Glaggleland. In 800 AG, Glaggleland had managed to somewhat recover, and it now consisted of 12 different kingdoms. By this period, the Great Glag had conquered a large portion of Gleberland, and modernised the religion. In 817 AG, the Great Glag travelled to the southern coast of Gleberland, with a staggering 20,000 troops. He conquered King of Glogville and declared it the Kingdom of Glaggleland. Around 1500 AG, the Renaissance period begun, with the revival of science and Glaggolisani art, including the Gloggolisa. Glaggleland attempted to take the entirety of Gloglus, but were left defeated to the Gazos. However, they did conquer Fieselland, and during this time, modern thorn glognuts were invented. The Glag War deserves its own video, but in a nutshell, Glaggleland and Gazoland would be at war with each other from 1891 to around 1978. Then, of course, there was the Glaggleland Massacre, which will also get its own video, followed by the Glimpered stage and finally the Resurrection stage. What inhabits modern-day Glaggleland? Its main inhabitants consists of Gigglers, Gazos, Gembos and Gloobers. And while Glaggleland is recorded to have around 3,001 rides in operation, here are some of their most notable rides. Hopefully you've learned something new. I'll be covering the Glaggleland Massacre next, followed by types of Glaggles. Be sure to drop a follow if you found this interesting or you found this helpful, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!